Hey guys, hope everybody's doing good today. It's kind of a lovely day today, although it is kind of cold. I have my hood up because my ears started getting cold, but so, I'm going to talk about a few things here. For one, just so everybody who watches my videos are clear, I don't just post videos against people because of their political views. Personally, to me, their political views do not matter to me. If you want to be a Republican, be a Republican. If you want to be a Democrat, be a Democrat. If you consider yourself the biggest Biden supporter ever, good for you. If you consider yourself the biggest Trump supporter ever, good for you as well. But we all have a right to have our own disagreements when it comes to politics. If you don't like Biden, don't like Biden then. If you don't like Trump, don't like Trump. Me, personally, yes, I am a Trump supporter, and I do not like Biden. But at the end of the day, that's just my political opinion. Just like y'all have a right to your own political opinion. But with that being said, now I'm going to talk about a few things that have been going on here in Michigan from what people are saying. So, U.S. Representative Peter Meijer, which I don't know too much about him in all honesty, other than he's a Democrat, he got on some sort of interview and recorded himself speaking, saying that he wants Republicans to apologize for what Republicans have said about this election. Really, dude? Why? Why do you want them to apologize for it? Exactly why? All because they said this election was rigged? Or it was a rigged election, excuse me. My apologies. Okay, my question is, how is it that people, throughout Trump's presidency, people kept talking about how him winning was rigged. How people keep saying Russia had to do with it, and nothing is done about it. Now, all of a sudden, Trump supporters and everybody that say this election was rigged, and now you want them to apologize for saying that. I mean, come on now, dude, really? I respect what you're saying, Mr. Meijer, but I disagree with you there. If liberals don't have to apologize for the shit that went on in this country, like all the rioting and looting and all that stuff, and all the businesses that shut down from, Democrats shutting everything down. Well, not just Democrats, excuse me, but everything shutting down because of the coronavirus. I don't see why Republicans have to apologize for calling this election rigged. I mean, that right there, that's just some pathetic bullshit to me. It really is. Now, with that being said, let's move on to the next subject here. So, Governor Gretchen Whitmer and former Governor Rick Snyder, who are, governors of Michigan, they went on to talk about how, the USA does not condemn vandalism, violence, or anything like that. And, they're talking about the D.C. bullshit that happened, and, of course the media is still making lies about that, saying it was a super violent one, but, man, how are you going to say that about what happened in D.C., but not say shit about all the rioting and looting that happened? Exactly how? And for those of you who are going to say, oh, she did speak out against that, she said this and that. I have listened to what she said. Well, I'd say, well, correction. I listen to just about everything she says. You know, every time she's on an interview or anytime, you know, she's at some sort of conference, you know, holding some sort of event or something, I have not heard her say a damn word about that. Or if she did say that, then obviously it wasn't enough. I mean, come on now, really? Whitmer and Snyder, of course. How are you going to say that, you know, USA is not the place for this and that, but then, you know, not say a word when, you know, you get a bunch of rioters and looters destroying businesses, burning things down, you know, running people out of business, and all that shit. Not to mention, you didn't say shit when a bunch of people lost their business from the pandemic, and people are still losing their business because of it. Because you want to continue to shut the state down, you know, make it to where people can't go to the bar, you know, where people can't eat inside a restaurant, and all that shit. And you're going to sit there and screw them over because they can't. But then, you know, you'll send people, you know, you'll send some sort of people after them to shut them down or fine them or something like that. Honestly, Whitmer, that makes no sense. You know, you're not going to say anything about the riots and all that shit, but, you know, you can't, you know, you'll go after bars and restaurants that are open. Some of these people that keep their places open, they don't have a choice. Some people need their business to keep going, and I know a lot of people who have lost their business now, and they had to go find something else. Like, I don't get that. You know, I just don't get. All right, sorry about that. I had a phone call, but still, you know, Whitmer, I'd like to, well, and Rick Snyder, of course, I'd like to agree with you guys, but I just can't. After what you've done to Michigan this past year, I will not stand for that shit. I will not. I get it, you know, coronavirus is a serious thing, and so many people are getting sick from coronavirus. You know, I totally get that, you know. I've had family and friends that have had coronavirus. While I don't know anybody who's died from it, you know, I just don't know what to think anymore, you know, because people, they'll go and say some things and then, you know, they won't say anything else when something else happens. Like, to me, that's just bullshit. But like I said, I'm glad I don't support any of them. You know, I don't support Rick Snyder or Gretchen Whitmer because obviously they're both a joke. Honestly, if they wanted anything done, they would have actually done something good rather than shut everybody down repeatedly. And for those of you who are going to hate on me for saying, oh, you shouldn't talk about Gretchen Whitmer or Rick Snyder like that. They were your governors. You should respect them. Oh, yeah? Did you say the same thing when Trump was president for the past 4 years? And he kept getting disrespected like that? That's my question. If it's okay for people to disrespect Trump repeatedly, then I have a right to say what I want to say about Gretchen Whitmer and anybody I don't agree with. And Peter Meijer for the record. Just because I don't agree with them, though, doesn't mean I hate them. You know, I will never go and say some rude shit towards them, be like, oh, I hope they die, I hope they go jump off a bridge, I hope this and that. I don't do that. It has never occurred to me to say shit like that. But that's all I gotta say. Sorry this video turned out to be a long video, and I'm sure I'm probably gonna receive some hate for making this video or disagreements. You know, I don't consider everybody that disagrees with me hate. You know, I don't think that. But if you do agree with me, you know, thanks for taking the time to watch this. You know, if you like this video and if you want to subscribe, feel free to subscribe. Sorry I can't talk straight, and there's people going by too. At least I'm not driving while making this video. But anywho, that's all. Good day, everybody, and be safe. Also, happy late New Year.